Okay, well, welcome everyone to the second European OHDSI Symposium. My name is Peter Rijnbeek. I'm Associate Professor of Health Data Science at the Department of Medical Informatics here in Erasmus, and it's really an honor to have you here. First things first, I really like to thank our sponsors. We have quite a lot of sponsors this year, and without these great institutions and companies, it would not have been possible for you to be here for free and have the lunches and everything. So thank you very, very much. So for those who were not here the first time, we had a very nice kickoff meeting here, so to say, and the title of that meeting was Bridging Europe. And the aim of the meeting was to bring people together and to create connections and collaborations among people. And that has been very successful, and I'm very proud of that. So after that first meeting that we had exactly a year ago, we had a lot of meetings across Europe to talk about OHDSI, about the Open Common Data Model that we'll be talking about a lot today. And I must say, those were very interesting discussions. And there were also countries' databases that were very interested in mapping their data to the Open Common Data Model. And that really kicked off some work. I'm pretty proud of that. We did some work in Denmark. It was fantastic to see that that was picked up and people started mapping their data and also showing results of their mappings already at the OHDSI Symposium in the US, which was in October. And they will be now also presenting some results of doing actual studies on that. So that's, I think, a very, very good development. And working last year and also on the EDEN project, European Health Data and Evidence Network project that we'll be talking about later, we noticed that there's quite a lot of interest in the standardization task that we are doing with the Open Common Data Model and the way we do our studies using the OHDSI tools. If you look at the people in the room, it's fantastic to see that there are so many countries in this room. A lot of European countries, and of course that's our first target, but it's also nice to see that there are people who come from pretty far away. So thank you very much for taking that effort and flying in all the way from these far away countries. The breakdown of participants is also quite nice. We have quite a nice mix of different stakeholders. Academia, technology, pharmaceutical companies, health data science, government, and also patients' organizations. And I think this is at the core of OHDSI. We need to bring together all these different stakeholders to really make an impact. And we need the input from all the stakeholders to improve on the current status. If you look at the distribution of, or the relationship of people with OHDSI currently, it's nice to see again that we have a lot of new people who are interested in OHDSI and like to learn more about it. That's exactly the purpose of this meeting. And of course, we hope that people then take action afterwards and join by either mapping their data or being involved in other things that OHDSI is active in. And you see an increase there. So you see more people that are participating. You also see people that are more involved in studies and people using the tools. And this really has to grow and grow a lot in the next 5 or 10 years. And I think we will be able to do that with all the efforts that we are putting in place in Europe at the moment. So talking about this meeting, we will start today with an overview of OHDSI, of course, by George Ripsack. I will be talking about the EDEN project. There's a lot of interest in EDEN, where we will be standardizing data across Europe at a very large scale. But the overarching theme of the whole day is source data to evidence. How do we get from all our different data structures, different terminology systems, to a pipeline in which we can create reliable evidence? And for that, we need to know exactly what happens in all the individual steps in between. And of course, the approach in OHDSI is to put a common data model in the middle to help out with that and to standardize the structure and the terminology systems. So we can use standardized analytics on top of the Open Common Data Model to improve on the current status. The story of today is actually like a kind of a full cycle in this pipeline. So we'll start at the end, starting with that kind of top-down approach. What are the use cases? What is the reliable evidence that we want to generate? And we will be discussing some use cases there. After that, we'll go back. We go back. If you then want to create that evidence, what type of standardized analytics do you need to create the evidence? And then, again, one step back. It's nice, data in the CDM, but how do we get the data in the CDM? So what are the tools available to do that? What are the things that we need to think about, things that we may need to improve, etc. Then there will be a Q&A session. So we will not do questions in between, but we'll have a nice spot at the end where we'll be behind the mics and people can ask questions about the presentation. So do make notes if you want to ask a specific question later on. In the afternoon session, it starts with lunch, of course, and we have then a collaborator showcase. And in that collaborator showcase, there are many posters. You already saw some of them downstairs. But there will also be demos, 8 demos of tools using Omo Common Data Model or OHDSI tools. And after that, we come back here for 1 hour, where there will be lightning talks. And lightning talks are selected abstracts, and they are actually also in the order of source data to reliable evidence, which I think is nice. After that, we have a coffee break, and you can go back to the demos and the posters. And then we go the other way around. So then we have a full hour to go directly from data to evidence with a nice use case there. After that, I will close very briefly, and then we'll have drinks. I don't think we have burgers, though, but we do have drinks.